Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island. Scientific data narrows location of treasure to the new baby blob. The Curse of Oak Island returned last night to reveal the team has narrowed down the area, known as the Blob, where they need to look for the treasure by the garden shaft. This week's episode saw Ian Spooner back in the war room. Marty Lagina couldn't hide his excitement and impatience about hearing the geoscientist's results on the data from the recent water samples. The geoscientist almost always has good news for the team, and Marty left him in no doubt that the pressure was on for him to deliver again. Ian had a selection of graphs, all indicating that he had narrowed down the area of the blob. This means the team now has a much smaller area to look in for the large concentration of gold that is thought to be buried near the garden shaft. Marty christened this new area the baby blob. The baby blob is a much more manageable area of only 20 feet by 20 feet, and is buried between 80 and 120 feet underground. It lies just outside of the garden shaft. However, Ian had more intriguing news. He and his colleague uncovered the signatures of other metals, besides gold, in the baby blob. A variety of different metals equals a hidden treasure on Oak Island. These metals included copper, zinc, and tin, and the presence of these three metals also suggests the presence of brass and bronze. Copper and zinc combine to make brass, and copper and tin give you bronze. These precious metal combinations are significant because they suggest a concentration of different types of objects or treasure buried in the baby blob. Gary Drayton pointed out that all these metals would be found with a real treasure haul. Frankly, the fellowship and the viewers should be wary of being too excited. Over the last few years, the team has already drilled plenty of times into the blob area, and has even drilled 6 times into the baby blob, each time finding nothing of real value. The guys have been drilling in this area for the past couple of weeks, and last night they placed the borehole drill, DN 9.5, over the baby blob, and still they hit nothing. There was disappointment etched on their faces, but they tried to remain upbeat. The soil was loose in places, indicating they could be close to something. It is important to remember that it is still quite a wide area, and perhaps they just missed the treasure by inches. In other news, the Dumas Mining Company has now excavated and rehabilitated 44 feet of the garden shaft. Rick Lagina and Scott Barlow even got to don some hard hats and go check it out. Rick was super excited to realize his childhood dream of exploring under the surface. The good news is Dumas only have to dig another 40 to 50 feet, and then they'll be able to tunnel into the baby blob itself, which could finally bring the 200-year-old secret of Oak Island to a close. A brooch is unearthed on Lot 26, and the well is linked to Templar Knights. Meanwhile, on Lot 26, Gary and Jack Begley were dancing for joy after they uncovered what appears to be a brooch. The team was super excited to discover an actual piece of jewelry. The brooch will need to undergo some rigorous testing and analysis before it can be determined how old the object is and what it's made of. The guys were able to examine it using a CT scanner, but they will need an XRF analysis to learn more. In one final area of note, the team brought in historian Terry DeVoe to examine the mysterious ancient well on Lot 26. Regular viewers will remember Terry as the guy who dated the stone roadway by the swamp to 500 years old and suggested it had been built by the Portuguese. Terry didn't have a whole lot to say about the well, but he did note its similarity to a well in New Ross, Nova Scotia, about 20 miles away from Oak Island. The team visited the well at New Ross in 2016, where they discovered markings that connected the area to the Templar Knights. All this just adds to the mystery of the well. ### The Curse of Oak Island. Scientific data narrows location of treasure to the new baby blob. For more than 2 centuries, Oak Island has seduced treasure hunters with its promise of untold riches, secret relics, and whispered legends of mysterious artifacts hidden beneath its soil. From the infamous Money Pit to Smith's Cove, the island's labyrinthine landscape has been explored and excavated relentlessly, with each layer of earth yielding new clues, but never quite revealing the ultimate prize. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, have become the latest stewards of this tantalizing mystery, combining cutting-edge technology with old-fashioned perseverance to sift through the island's secrets. Now, after years of dead ends and heartbreak, there's a buzz of fresh excitement on Oak Island. The team has made a breakthrough that might finally tip the scales in their favor. It's not a hidden chamber or a golden artifact, but something far more elusive and intangible, a baby blob, as the team has affectionately dubbed it. This small anomaly, revealed through advanced seismic scanning, may be the most significant discovery in the history of Oak Island's search for treasure. The origin of the baby blob dates back to the early days of the team's collaboration with scientific experts. Utilizing seismic reflection technology, they've scanned deep beneath the surface of the island, mapping out anomalies that could indicate voids, tunnels, or metallic deposits. These scans provide a highly detailed picture of the underground environment, and over the years, many curious formations have been unearthed, some leading to dead ends, others to fascinating historical finds. Yet it was during a particularly detailed scan near the swamp that the baby blob first appeared. Smaller than the infamous larger blob discovered earlier, this new formation exists at a depth of roughly 150 feet, just beyond the reach of many previous excavations. What makes the baby blob especially tantalizing is its unusual shape, density, and the fact that it lies along a previously unexplored tunnel-like structure extending from the money pit area toward the swamp. Could this be the missing link? It's unlike anything we've seen before, says Marty Lagina, the more skeptical of the two brothers but also the one most intrigued by scientific data. We've encountered voids and strange formations before, but the precision of this anomaly, combined with its location, makes it a top priority for excavation. The team believes the baby blob might represent a collapsed chamber or a treasure vault, potentially untouched for centuries. Its proximity to the fabled money pit, long considered the epicenter of the island's mysteries, adds a layer of urgency to the discovery. If their theories hold true, this anomaly could be the most direct link to whatever treasure has been hiding beneath Oak Island for all these years. But why the nickname Baby Blob? Rick Lagina, ever the romantic when it comes to Oak Island's history, gave the anomaly its playful name. "We've had the larger blob for years now," Rick explains with a laugh. "This is like its little sibling, smaller, more elusive, but just as important, if not more so. We're hoping the baby blob leads us to something that's been waiting to be found for centuries." As the Lagina brothers and their team prepare to investigate, the atmosphere on Oak Island is charged with a mix of caution and hope. They've been here before, standing on the precipice of what could be a monumental find, only to be met with disappointment. The infamous Oak Island curse has a way of thwarting even the most promising discoveries. The swamp itself has proven to be an almost sentient adversary, yielding some clues but guarding its secrets fiercely. Yet the introduction of more advanced scientific methods has given the team an edge previous explorers didn't have. By analyzing soil samples, detecting minute metallic traces, and using ground-penetrating radar, the Oak Island team has accumulated a treasure trove of data.